Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So this is Abroad Studies Academy's YouTube channel, and if you are stopping by for the first time, my name is Dimpo and I help you find fully funded scholarships to study abroad, as well as secure visa sponsored jobs to work abroad. So if this is something that excites you, and if it's something that you've been looking into, you've been trying on your own, and you need some sort of guidance, then you have landed on the right channel. So in today's topic, we'll be talking about applying for visas or applying for your student visa. So for those who are stopping by for the first time, this is the study abroad application series. This video is part of the application series that I started last month, and hopefully by the end of this month we'll be done with all 5 videos. So for those who have benefited from the previous videos that I have already shared on this channel, then remember to give this video a big thumbs up, and remember to like and share this video, and remember to subscribe to this channel so I keep on making these videos for you. You can subscribe by clicking the red button down here, and you can also tell your friends to do the same so that this channel can gain momentum and can gain more subscribers, so that more viewers, more subscribers, more success stories, right? So make sure you join the Abroad Studies community by clicking the red button down there. Okay, now that you're done with that, let's get on with today's topic. Alright, so first things first. So as I just mentioned, today's topic is about applying for your student visa. So what is a student visa to start with? So a student visa is a documentation that you will need, and that is issued to you to be able to travel to a foreign country where you'll be studying. So for you to be granted entry in that country, a legal entry, you obviously need a student visa to enable you to study in that country. So in the previous videos, I had mentioned that for you to study abroad, you will have to follow this procedure, and all of these videos are explaining each individual step that you need to go through to be able to study abroad on full scholarship. And in these videos, we've already covered applying to schools abroad, finding scholarships to study abroad, and in this video we are tackling student visa. So now that you have applied to schools abroad and you have gotten your admissions decisions from these schools, it's then that you can apply for your student visa. So the first thing that needs to happen for you to apply for your student visa is for your schools to issue you the documentations that are needed for you to begin the process of the visa applications. So I'm going to be making examples with the United States, and for obvious reasons that I've had multiple students go to US helped by me. So that doesn't mean that other countries, I don't have students represented in those countries. I have students in Canada, UK, and Sweden. But with this video, I'm going to make an example with the US, because majority of my students go to the United States. Alright, so let's make a typical example of a student who got admitted into a US university or a US college. Once you've been accepted, the school is going to issue you a form called I-20. So this form is going to enable you to apply for your student visa. So once this form has been issued to you or sent to you, and usually it's supposed to be mailed to you, and you can use any courier of your choice, but in some cases the school would prefer a certain courier which will send you this documentation to you. So once this I-20 has arrived in your mailbox, you will then begin the visa application process. So before you do that, you obviously have to know the requirements for you to be able to apply. And some of these requirements is obviously you need to have your admissions letter from your school, and you need to have your finances in order. Your finances should show that you will be able to finance yourself while in the US for the duration of your studies. So once all that is taken care of, then you will have to begin your application. So the application form is found on the state government website, and this form is usually the DS form that you need to fill out and submit to the consular office. So that is the first thing that you need to do once you've acquired your I-20 and beginning your visa application. Again, I have this notebook with me, so I'm going to look into this book as many times as I can to make sure that I keep track of all the points that I have for you today. So now let's move on to the next thing that you need to be wary of, or you need to abide by when you apply for your student visa. So the next thing is to have jotted down the timeline that it will take you to process your visa application from beginning till you get your visa stamp in your passport. So this item or this next point is timeline. So you need to be wary of the timeline. This means the deadlines that you need to be worried about. This also means the timelines that you will be doing the actual application and setting your visa interview dates. And when this usually is not under your control, because for the most part you will find that some students will apply for a visa and then they will have like a receipt email to confirm that they've submitted their application, and then in some cases you have to fill in your visa interview dates during the application, but in other cases you submit your application before, and then once the confirmation has been sent to you, then you can schedule the visa interview date. So you need to have a timeline as to when you want this to happen, and obviously your preparedness and your readiness for this interview to happen. So the reason I said sometimes this is not in your control is because you'll find that, let's say you are applying for your student visa in July, or let's say in July, and you're hoping to leave for school in August. So that means you only have 1 month to have everything done. But then by the time you apply for your student visa, all available visa interview slots have been fully booked for, let's say, July, and maybe you have like 2 available slots in August. And in that month of August, maybe it's like towards the end of August, but you had planned to leave, say, the second week of August. So that means that is going to mess up your timeline, and that means you should have at least looked into this information way ahead of time so that you know what to do if you encounter this issue. In most cases, when this happens, what I usually do with my students is we apply or request an emergency visa, which usually the visa consular the consular officer or the embassies that will be applying to usually do accept this request, but then you don't want to find yourself in that situation. So that's why I'm saying you should be very articulate with your timeline. So that is that regarding this point. So now moving on to the next point on my list is the fees related to applying to your student visa. I know I did mention a bit about this on this previous video. You can check this video out if you haven't checked any of the videos in the series. I'll also link these videos in the description of this video so you can check them out. so that your step-by-step process is in a good flow. All right, so once you're done with this video, if you haven't seen all the previous videos, then you can get them down in the description below, or I'll also link them somewhere here. Okay, so the visa fees that are related to applying for a student visa differ with the country that you'll be applying to. And again, I'm gonna make a typical example with the United States. So when you apply for a student visa in the US, either you're applying for an F-1 visa, and I'll be explaining these terms as we move on with this video. But let's say you're applying for an F-1 student visa. The fees that are related to that usually range between $160 to $180 depending on the country you're based in. But for students who are based in Lesotho, the visa application fees are $160. So at the time of payment, you have to convert that into your local currency, and you need to be using the conversion rate, the dollar to rand or dollar to Maluti conversion rate of the day of payment. So that is something that you guys should have pointed out on your checklist when you apply for your student visa. And now moving on to the last point, I believe, the last point, which is explaining the visa types, so that you know which visa application to file. In as much as when you get your I-20, in fact, when you get your admissions decision, you would have already selected the visa type that you fall under. Like, even during the application, you have to state which visa type you'll be applying for once accepted. And so when you file this visa application, you need to know what type you are applying for, so that you don't end up applying for the wrong visa application. For students who are applying under school-specific scholarships, you guys file what is called F-1 visa. So this goes for undergrads or graduate students. And for students who usually go under government-based scholarships, you guys file what is called J1 visa. And in some cases, sometimes it's M1 visa, but mostly it's J1. And usually students under the J1 visa have certain restrictions that students who fall under the F-1 visa do not. So I just wanted you to have this clarification if you didn't know about this information, so that when you get to that section of the application process, then you know what to do. And this brings us to the end of today's video. So I hope this video was helpful, and if it was, you know what to do. You give this video a big thumbs up, share this video, and you leave your comment down in the comment section, so that I know if you have any questions. And when you leave your questions in the comment section, obviously I'm going to respond to those questions, answer to all your questions. So if you do have one, remember, just leave it down below. And if you are one of my students and you are watching this video, and maybe you want to share your experience with fellow students who want to also study abroad, then you can also do that in the comment section below. And lastly, remember to subscribe to this channel by clicking the red button down here, so that this channel can gain momentum. Like I did mention in the beginning of this video, that the goal is for us to be as many as possible on this channel, and so that our success stories have more impact. That concludes today's topic, and I hope to see you again on my next one. Bye.